Welcome to our video. In this video, we're going to discuss the arrays and we will talk about the main concept of arrays in C++ programming language. So let's get started. What is an array? If we want to simplify the array terms, it's basically a lot like a variable, but instead of just storing one value, like 1 or 3 or 6 or 20, it can store 1, 3, 6, 20 together, like a multiple values. So it's basically a variable, but with multiple values. The scientific definition of an array is a series of elements of the same type placed in a contiguous memory locations that can be individually referenced by adding an index to a unique identifier. I think now we understood the main concept of arrays.
Hello everybody! In this video I'm gonna start talking about an array. An array is a variable that can store multiple values in one line. Let's go ahead and start writing a simple code about an array. First of all, to start writing a code in C++, you must start it with include iostream, then using name space std semicolon. In order to write an array, first of all, write what data type you're working with. I'm gonna write here integer. Then write the name you want to call your array. For example, in here I'm gonna call it car. Open a square bracket, then equal sign. Inside the square bracket, you must write the number that you want the array to hold. For example, I will write 5. And this way is called an array initializer list because it holds multiple numbers separated by commas. For example, I will write 23, 6, 44, 5, 99 semicolon. As you can see here, we have an array called car, holds 5 integers. Okay, to print it, cout, then write the same name that you create for your array, which is car, the same square bracket, and write here inside the square bracket what the number you want to print. For example, if I write 3, it's obvious that it will print number 44. Let's make run and see what's happened. No, it prints here number 5. Why? Because in array, the index of numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3 till 4. That's why when we write here 3, it prints 5. For example, if I want to print number 23, I will write 0. Let's see. As you can see, it prints number 23. That's it. Thank you everybody. I hope you understand it.
This example will help us to understand the concept of the arrays. So, for example, that we have a mathematical class and we have 50 students and they would join and get to this class. So we will use an array to record and write their identification numbers or their names. The array will help us to initialize these 50 students inside the class, so we will use the array rather than declaring 50 variables for these 50 students. Let's say that we have five ID for 5 students, and these students will join to a specific class. So let's say that they will join to a mathematical class. So you write their IDs in a specific array, and the name of this array is math class. Let's get started writing our program. And this is actually one of the easiest programs codes. It's really simple and basic code. How could we define or declare the arrays? The array will be declared by writing 3 important things. The first thing is the data type of the array. And here we will use string as a data type of the array. So let's write string. And if we use string as a data type, we have to write this statement right here. Include string. Okay. And the second thing is the name of the array. And here our array names is math class. Math class. The third thing and the last thing is writing the number of elements of this array inside a square bracket. 5. So if we have 5 IDs for 5 students and we want to write these IDs inside the array as values, we will write it like this, equal, and then braces, and then we will add or write the IDs by writing the first value or ID within inside quotation marks. So let's write the quotation marks and then 391202456. This is the first ID. Okay. And then we will write comma. And we will repeat it for all 5 students. Okay, like this. Okay. At the end of our statement, we will write a semicolon. Sorry. If we want to print an element inside the array, we will use the index. So what is the index? We have to understand 2 things about the index. 1, the index is equal to the number of element minus 1. The index is equal to the number of element minus 1. And the second thing is, the index will begin with 0. So the first element will get the index 0. And the last element will get the index number of elements minus 1. So if we have 5 elements, then our index will end with 4. I will show you a picture so that's gonna help you to understand the concept of the index. Here we have an array with 5 integers elements. So we have an array, and the name of the array is the alphabet A. And we have 5 elements inside this array: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the first element will take the index 0, and the second element will get 1. The index 2 will go with the third element, 3 with the fourth element, and 4 with the fifth and last element. Why the index is end with the number 4 and we have 5 elements? Because it's begin with 0 and end with the number of elements. We have 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So the index will end with 4. I hope that you get to understand this example. Why we use the array? What is the benefit or the advantages of using arrays? We can define or declare an array rather than declaring 30 or 40 or even 50 different variables. So the array is saving our time. And it's reduced the effort. Arrays give us the ability to access values within or inside the array in a very fast and easy way by the index. It's reducing the size of the code and minimize it. Array types. There's two types of the array. The first one is one-dimensional array, and the second one is multi-dimensional. The one-dimensional array. How could we define or declare the one-dimensional array? Just like what we did with our example, by writing three things. The first thing is the data type, and then the array name, and then the size or the length of the array, which is mean the number of elements inside this array. And here I have a picture that will help you to understand. Here we have an array, and this array have 4 elements, A, B, C, and D. So the array length or size is equal to 4. Okay. And as we just said, the last index will equal to the number of elements or the length of array minus 1. So the length of this array is equal to 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So the index will begin with 0 and end with 3. The first element will get 0, second 1, and then the third, which is C, will get the index 2, and D will get 3. The multidimensional array is also known as rectangular arrays. So how could we define or declare these kind of arrays? It's similar to the one-dimensional array. The first thing is the data type, and then the array name, and then the size. But if our array is a two-dimensional array, we will write two sizes. The first one is the row, and the second is the column. The first one is the row, and the second is the column. And if our array is a three-dimensional array, we will write 3 sizes, like X, Y, and then Z. Okay, but here our array is a two-dimensional array. And I want you to know that the most popular multi-dimensional array is two-dimensional array, and then the three-dimensional arrays. And here I have a picture. Okay, so the row and column will begin with the index 0 in multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, and the first element will get the index 0, 0. This 0 is the row, and the other one is column. And the index of this element is 0, 2. 0 is the row, and 2 is the column. Okay. At the end, I will tell you if we have two-dimensional array and we want to print it, we will use 2 for loops. The first loop will print the row, and the second one will print the column. Okay, and if we have three-dimensional array, we will use 3 loops, and if we have 4, we will use 4 loops, as much as the dimensional. Here I have some examples for common mistakes, and I want you to read it. It will help you to avoid the mistakes.